So it's funny, when Peter asked us to come speak to the community here at LendIt, he said, why don't you do something on the scaling of small business lending? And so quite unoriginally, the title of our talk is The Scaling of Small Business Lending, with the theme of from local to national to global. And so I'd like to start with a little scene. When we think about kind of traditional small business lending, there's kind of this very fairy tale-like image that comes up in people's minds, where you think about a Main Street business and a Main Street bank. The Main Street business has been around for a number of years. They've probably had that deposit account at the Main Street bank for just as many years. They know their business banker by name. And when the time comes up in the course of their business that they need a loan, they decide to walk down the street to that Main Street bank. They apply for a loan, and several weeks later, they get the loan and they go on their way. And this is the way that traditional small business lending worked. What's really interesting is over the last 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, this is happening less and less. And the point of this talk is to figure out why. So we're going to look at trends in small business lending at the local level. What's changing in that local lending landscape that's in turn driving more and more of lending activity to national scale lenders, both major banks and marketplace lenders. And then finally, we'll examine a really interesting question. Can and should small business lending platforms go global? What are the pros and cons, and what are the trends that we're seeing there? So what are we seeing on the local side in small business lending? The first part of this, and anyone who's seen our IPO Roadshow presentation understands this, is that traditional SMB loans are very onerous. In this day and age, when everything is digital, we expect transactions to be fast and fluid, and we'll show some data later on about how even banking now is transformed by both online and mobile channels.